Look.
Listen.
Okay. Yes, soft giggles all around. Clambo's Geese is back. Celebrate. Tweet it out. Tell your friends. It's a joyous occasion.
Sorry, I had a breakdown.
No.
Just a bit of a breakdown.
Look, listen. With Geese and Guyera, I'm Guyera, that's Geese. As you can probably tell, my voice sounds sick. And that's because, Geese, I've been going all over the place and going to concerts and only getting like 2 hours of sleep. And I've been nonstop. And my body is punishing me for all of my activities.
So, how many concerts did you go to?
I only went to 2. I was going to go to 3, but they did a California show and then Las Vegas and then another California show, and it just wasn't working for me with like work. It was I was already like switching around so many schedules and working all crazy hours and getting no sleep just to go to the 2 concerts I did go to. But it was great because I was at the very, very front both times, and like I said, because the band loves me so much because I've been there for so long. I don't even have to pay for tickets because I'm just on the guest list and they love me. And Geese, guess what happens in both shows? Guess what happened?
What? Crowd surfing?
No. But at the end of the show, after the encore, the lead singer of the band, Geese, he came down off the stage and gave me a big old hug in front of everybody and said, "It's so good to see you, Michael." And all the girls next to me were so jealous. Oh my goodness. Geese, it was like nothing but women. I don't know what happened.
Were these TikTok teens?
Yeah, they're TikTok teens. They're a bunch of TikTok teens.
I was really hopeful that you were going to say that at the end after the encore that he shouted out our podcast.
I should have told him to.
Yeah, you should have.
Oh my God. But that's not really... I've got him to do stuff like that before. Well, sort of. Like I had him dedicate a song to somebody who it was their birthday. That was sweet of them. That would be kind of weird though, Geese. Just they're this rock band and they're like, now watch this Pokemon podcast, everyone.
So who cares?
It's I wouldn't feel comfortable.
I was supposed to go to the Carly Rae Jepsen concert last Wednesday with Aaron, but I left Madison early, so I missed out, which is kind of sad because she's like my favorite performer. But on the other hand, I'm not really loving her new album, so I don't know. I kind of regret not going, but I had to leave Madison, so I guess it is what it is.
I've had something similar where I've been wanting to see an artist for a very long time, and it just keeps not working out. And then when the opportunity to see them comes out, the album they're currently touring with, I just think, I'm not super into that one. That's happening right now with both Marina and Regina Spektor. Her latest album I'm not super into, but her previous album, Remember Us to Life, that's gotta be a top 20, if not top 10 favorite album for me. It's so good.
Marina as in like formerly of Marina and the Diamonds?
Right. I mean, it's always just been her and she's had people play the instruments, but before her name of herself is Marina and the Diamonds. And then she just rebranded to Marina circa 2018, 2019? I think that sounds right.
Yeah. I went to one of her concerts in high school back in the Heartbreakers era.
Electra Heart, you mean?
Yeah, whatever. I was close enough.
Everybody.
That was a good concert.
Like with a lot of artists, I go back and forth on what my favorite albums are. And she's interesting because my current favorite album was my least favorite album at one point. I don't really know how that happens. But it did. So Fruit is currently my favorite Marina album. But Love and Fear is also very, very good. Geese, I have written down here something that I don't even know why. I must have been thinking of something. Just been watching Japan stuff. And it's just so magical, the number of things you can have just sitting around that would get absolutely destroyed and vandalized and robbed in a country like the United States or even the United Kingdom. But because everyone is so well behaved in Japan, it just does not happen. And it's a wonderful place to visit.
If you're going to Japan again, can you please bring me?
Geese, where are you getting all your Japan money?
I have money. It's not a money issue.
Well, I'll see. I'm going to try to go in February. So if you want to block out your calendar then.
Heck yeah, I can do that.
Always asking for Venmo. Oh, I have money.
I'm saying I have money budgeted for, like, trips.
Oh, of course, yes. The trip budget. What I do instead is just take my entire savings account and convert that to yen. Not
Oh, shoot. Oh, you remind me. I need to write that down right now because I'm going to get yen.
What is the conversion rate right now? Hope it's still
Is
good
it still
for you.
good?
Oh, let's see. I don't think it's as good as it was a second ago, or not a second ago, but a couple weeks ago. Let's see. Oh, it's still fine. It's still good for you. Exchange rate's still good. All right.
Yeah, that.
Yes, the Mother concerts were absolutely astounding, absolutely amazing, such great music. It's so funny watching the set list transform because they had a tour in January. And that was the inside tour, so it was promoting their latest album. And they had that all planned out specifically for that record. But by the time this tour happened, they got to see all the millions of new fans through TikTok. So they figured out what songs they really like. So a lot of the set was a lot of older songs. I could have made that set better. I would have switched out like 3 songs. The Los Angeles show, very sick because in the encore, he played a song that he has never played live. But all because back in January, there was one girl in the audience who begged him to play this song. He said, I'm not prepared to play that song now, but I promise the next time I come back to Los Angeles, I'll learn it and play it for you. And he did. And everyone was losing their mind. It's very sick. Geese, why don't we move on to watching?
I was going to ask you how last week went with Taylor. What did you guys talk about?
Oh, it was a good episode. I was cracking up because he immediately started talking about Severance. And I said, so every podcast, every single episode, doesn't matter what it is under Peep Industries, is going to be talking about Severance. It doesn't matter. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, we watched the band Bikini James episode. It was a fun time. I recommend checking it out. I'm so hot.
I miss Taylor.
You can, if you want, we can get him on more episodes. He fulfills the something which is very useful, which is interrupting a ton during the plot, so that way it doesn't get too boring of just me saying what's going on. So could be handy. He sounds eager to go again, so we can ask him to guest again next week or week after. Oh, okay, Geese, look. What should I be playing right now? God of War Ragnarok. Is it out yet? No. Is my copy waiting for me at the store as we speak? Yes. But by the time I got the email, it was already too late, and I'm sick, so it's not really a good idea for me to be going places. So I just pre-ordered it digitally instead. Oh well. I always get so excited about playing games early, too.
Wait, when is Pokemon coming out?
Pokemon's next week. Pokemon's the 19th. It's the Friday. Oh, wait, I may have misspoke. 17? Wait, it doesn't come out Sunday, does it? Oh, this is something I should know. I'm kind of surprised I don't have this off the top of my Scarlet Violet release date. Scarlet Violet. Okay, November 18th, which is a Friday. Yes. Okay, I got it. Next Friday. But I'll for sure be playing that one the 17th because I already got the yen on Amazon for the digital version, so I can play once it unlocks in Japan time.
I messaged Aaron and I was like, I saw you snooping on our document. And he said, hee, I love snooping.
Oh my God. Yeah, we talked a real long time about a lot of different movies and shows. So we're just gonna have to see. Geese, please tell me what you watched, etc., etc.
So I'm back home with my parents.
I'm going to say back on your BS.
No. Well, in one way, yes, because quite frankly, these past 2 weeks I've been working nonstop because I have to do a lot of grading. So I haven't had a lot of time to do much of anything really. The TV I have watched has mostly consisted of like Masterpiece Theater on PBS with my parents.
I didn't even know that still existed.
Yeah. There's this one show, Stellan Skarsgård. It's called River.
These Skarsgårds.
It's about this police detective whose partner died and he's having hallucinations. And then the other one is called Miss Scarlet and the Duke.
I love how much fun you get out of that title.
It's just like, it's this Victorian lady, and she's like the first Victorian lady detective in London. It's just like so British.
That does sound very British.
How about you?
I thought I watched more than I did, but it turns out when you are incredibly busy, you don't watch as many programs. I just now, a few minutes ago, if we're being honest here, watched last week's Andor. Okay. Am I the only person? Let me back up. Was Andor good? Yes, it was incredible. This latest episode, because when we're recording, I think there's a new Andor like tonight or tomorrow. But it was outstanding. The ending is super good. And everybody who I've seen talk about Andor, they are really hyping it up, talking about how it's better than all the other Star Wars properties. And I was more on the side of, well, I found Mandalorian more entertaining and could find myself being bored in Andor from time to time. Like I was checking my phone throughout it, and that seemed to surprise a lot of people. But I've got to hand it to Andor. This last episode, very exciting, very good. I like the little plot lines they're setting up. Very fun. And Handmaid's Tale, I'm like up and I love a good geese yawn.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's the middle of the night for poor geese. She needs 8 p.m. coffee or something. What was I got? Oh, Handmaid's Tale. Okay. I don't know how I feel about it. Right now, it's not bad, but it's not as good as the previous week's episode. It's whatever. It's good. It's not bad. It's not great.
I need to watch Andor.
You saw Rogue One, the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's canon. I'd watch it. It's no Mandalorian.
I was not watching it just because it's like there's so much tension and risk and things at stake, and my poor anxiety can't handle it.
Entertainment works on you that way. It affects you emotionally in that way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I also forgot what else I was watching. This Saturday, I watched the Extra Life streams. Tom of Response Message did a stream during the day Saturday, and then Aaron did a 13-hour stream at night.
Oh my goodness.
And I started Link to the Past.
Just regular Link to the Past?
Yes. And I stopped playing because I got too frustrated because I kept dying and having to go do all this stuff over again.
No save states?
No, I'm playing on the computer using a emulator.
Yeah, that's when you could do save states.
Man, wish Aaron told me this.
Yeah, Saturday I was busy with Mother all day, and Wednesday too. Oh, but it was so much fun. Hanging out with Shelly, having a wonderful time, laughing.
Who's Shelly?
Shelly's my friend. I met her through another person in 2015. We all know each other because of the band Mother. So Shelly was friends with Dallas. I was friends with Dallas. And it was in San Diego we met, actually, in 2015. Yeah, she was visiting from Canada because I went up to Vancouver to see Mother with Dallas. She came down here for us to go see Mother. Probably, God, everywhere. I think we saw them twice in Los Angeles, once in Santa Ana, once in San Diego. And that's when I met Shelly and her husband, Steven, and we became good friends. And I've been hanging out with them ever since because they live in Las Vegas. So I'm always going over there, having fun. Wonderful time. Geese, whose turn is it for eating or watching or playing? I don't know.
Tell me what you've been playing lately. Oh, wait, I
All right.
guess you already have, because you said that you should be playing God of War.
Should be playing. Unfortunately, I haven't. I was gonna save this for Poké News of the Week, but it's fine. We can bring it up now. My Switch OLED came in, Scarlet and Violet. It's so beautiful, Geese. And I
I didn't
transferred.
realize that on the back of it, it had all these like Pokemon on it.
Yeah, it's got all the Scarlet and Violet
That's
pokes
very cool looking.
all over the Joy-Con and the back. So I did a full system transfer. Well, I wish it was a full system transfer. In the good old days of like PS3, you would literally just move absolutely everything. It would take hours upon hours to do it. But this one, I had two options. I could individually move each save and then use the account on both systems. But instead, I did, no, I'm not going to use. And I tried that at first, but then I messed it up because I couldn't play the games on the second system. So then I did a full move over of accounts. So that way it grants the license to the new system and I get all my save datas, except for Animal Crossing, because Animal Crossing is a goofball and you have to download a separate island transfer tool. We're not going to get into all that. But I moved over my two important accounts, which is Age, which is my main account, and Age JP, which is the account I use to buy Pokemon games a day early. So that's moved over. My saves are moved over. And now I just have to re-download everything. And luckily, most of my Pokemon games are physical, so I can trade back and forth between my two Switches for trading pokes back and forth. Very sick. But yeah, I amusingly have never updated my game Legends Arceus because at one point they changed how shiny hunting worked. Because before you could just keep resetting the game to try and get a specific shiny, and they eventually fixed that. So I was on an older patch, an older firmware, but because of the system transfer, I finally had to give up on that dream. And I'm on a current patch now. The only good thing is now I can transfer all my shinies into Pokemon Home, but I will no longer be able to hunt specific Pokemon. Also, I played more Yakuza 7.
So I've just been playing Fortnite when I do have time to play video games. Recently, there have been new quests. So like there's a Skywalker quest where you complete like Star Wars related quests to get XP. And like they have a bunch of Star Wars skins in the store. So they got like Luke and Leia and Han and others.
I love
So
other.
I've just been doing that, and also still grinding away on that Cats and Soup game.
Geese, how much money have you spent on Cats and Soup? Are you pulling money out of your Japan fund?
No, I've held back. I haven't used any money.
Good work.
I'm now part of the Reddit. I'm just trying to min-max my cats.
You say you're part of the Reddit?
Yeah.
Let me tell you a quick story regarding Reddit. So I don't ever use Reddit. The only time I'm ever on Reddit is when I have a question. So I'll Google the question plus Reddit so I can see what's upvoted. And Reddit keeps recommending these. What are they called on Reddit? Not channels or threads. What are they called? The communities?
Subreddits?
Subreddit, yeah. So it keeps recommending me these subreddits. And it recommended GameStop. And I saw this thread about they were discussing the codes they were giving away. Like they were GameStop employees that were discussing the codes and how many they had left. So I just left a comment on there. Ooh, if any of you has one of those shiny Eternatus codes left, can I please have one? And then I get an email saying, you have been permanently banned from the GameStop subreddit. I went, okay, geez Louise, I'll never ask for a code. My gosh.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I click in the rules and it says, first offense, permanent ban for begging. Oh my God. Just ask if they had a spare code. Oh my Lord.
Wow.
They're serious.
Not messing around.
No, not at all. God. I'll take my business elsewhere. Geese, let me talk about my food this week, I suppose. It's such a long list, I have to read it off. Okay. But I ate this egg sandwich, and I've seen this place forever, but every single time I've thought about going, I looked at their menu, and every single sandwich is so full of mayonnaise and pork that I went, oh my God. And every time I'd get excited, I'd go, ooh, what about this one? And I'd ask, because it says beef right here. And then they say, no, it's beef and pork meat mixture. And I go, gosh darn it. But today I finally just walked up there and said, look, do you have anything without mayonnaise and pork? And he said, well, just order this and then remove it. And I said, all right, fine. So I got their classic egg sandwich, no aioli, no extra mayonnaise, add vegan chorizo, and it was okay. Some nice fluffy eggs.
You don't like aioli?
Geese, it tastes like mayonnaise. Big time.
You don't like mayonnaise?
Well, Geese, the thing is, no. But are there lots of sauces that I know have mayonnaise in them, but I don't taste the mayonnaise, thus I think are delicious, such as raisin sauce? Yes.
I feel like
that was such a long question. I don't even know if yes or no is the answer.
I feel like there are a lot of aiolis that are really good and they don't taste like mayo. I feel like you should give certain aiolis a chance, you know?
Maybe. It's just with aioli specifically, I'm batting whatever the phrase is that means you're batting bad. I'm batting 0 for 3, 0 for a million. I don't know what the phrase is, but when there is a Thousand Island variant, when I'm going somewhere new, I will always ask for it on the side. And then I'll dip my burger or my fries into the Thousand Island variant and make my decision delicious or mayonnaise, disgusting. With the Thousand Islands, more often than not, it's delicious and not mayonnaise. But aiolis, it's the opposite. So it's hard for me to convince myself to even try an aioli. But I had such a hankering for Indian food. And the problem is the Indian food over here is so expensive. I just need to go to a buffet because I got some chicken tikka masala and an aloo paratha and a mango lassi at this place. The mango lassi was really good. The aloo paratha was not good at all. I just want to eat this thing I saw on Instagram. I posted it somewhere. Tom was going on about it, asking what it was. It's this Turkish food, but then they said it's like an aloo paratha. But the aloo paratha I got was nothing like this incredible looking creature. If I remember to, I'll post the video when I do the little social media post for this episode, just so people can see this unbelievably delicious looking thing that I've been dreaming about forever.
What is it called in Turkish? Do you know the dish name?
I could look it up probably. That's not going to take but a second because all I got to do is search aloo paratha because it's going to be in the same message. Velibah, Velibah. I don't know how to pronounce it. Velibah, something like that. Something along those lines is what I want to eat. Oh my God, geese. So I was in San Diego. We wake up pretty early and I eat. First off, good news. I did eat my delicious California burrito in San Diego at a place that ends in Bertos, because if you want good burritos in San Diego, you have to go to somewhere that ends in Bertos. You can go to an Albertos, Gualbertos, Filibertos, anything that ends in Bertos, you're good to go. You're golden. So I got a giant California burrito, very tasty. But I just want to try the stupid French toast sticks at Wendy's, but they only sell them in the morning. And I showed up at 10:32 and they stopped selling them at 10:30. And I want to end it all, geese, because I can never get to a Wendy's before 10:30 a.m.
Are they just like the French toast sticks you get at when you were a kid, like the cafeteria?
Maybe. Who's to say? I've never tried them.
Those were always really good.
I like that. But geese, did I ever tell you the story about when I was in second grade? And in second grade in Washington, we would get our little breakfast trays from this little window in the hallway and then take the tray into our classrooms and eat the breakfast in the classroom. And geese, I was eating my little French toast sticks and then spilled syrup all over myself first thing in the morning, so I had to be sticky all day.
That's the worst. I hate being sticky. It's one of my least favorite things.
Covered in syrup. Oh my God. But in good news, I also ate at this place called Local Crave. Yeah, that's what it's called. Local Crave in San Diego. And we went there because they had a bunch of nitro cold brew on tap. Lots of different flavors. That was exciting. And the pictures on their website looked very good. So I had to try a Belgian Wonder waffle with bananas
I
and
love
cookie
Belgian
butter
waffles.
and cinnamon. Oh my, yeah, you can see the picture. Oh my God, Geese, I was so amazed by this incredible, wonderful waffle. Oh my God. Every bite was just as surprisingly delicious as the last. I can't think of a better waffle experience. Just, oh my God, it was so good.
I
Shouts out.
love Belgian waffles so much. When I was in Belgium, I got them like every day. Ugh, I miss them so much.
Shouts out Belgian waffle.
Shouts
Belgian
out.
waffles.
Have I been eating, you ask, dear listeners? Well, funny you ask, because my parents, they just don't eat food, I guess. There's no food here. There's never been food here, really. I think my parents just kind of survive on canned soup and cold cuts, if I'm going to be honest. So there's like barely any food here, and I miss Aaron's cooking so much.
All they do
We
is
did
dip their
have
gabagool into soup. No chilling.
we did have turkey tonight with stuffing. It was fine. I ate too much stuffing. Also, got some Girl Scout cookies. Some
Ooh.
Girl Scouts were selling, and I ate a.
They're going to say, and
whole.
I was buying.
Well, yeah. I ate a entire box of tagalongs for
Those are good.
dinner on
For
Saturday.
dinner, no geese.
That's just the reality. It's just how it is here. My parents just like make such a big deal about getting food carry out or anything. It's such like a financially like disastrous decision. Like it's the highest stakes in the world. So we barely ever eat out. Getting delivery is like a non-starter. We've never gotten food delivered here before.
Well, I'm with them on that. I can't handle delivery fees. I pass out every time I see them, so I always travel to get the food and come back. But yes, I would literally die without getting carry-out food. So don't know how I'd survive in Geese's parents' home.
I miss food.
Oh, poor Geese. Somebody send Geese some Culvers in the mail, pretty please.
Oh wait, I forgot to ask you.
Yes.
What is nitro cold brew?
It's really bubbly. People would compare it to like an alcohol. What's the alcohol that has like what's it called? Like a head where it's like foamy at the top? Yeah. So it's like that. It has nitrous oxide in the pump, so it makes it more caffeinated somehow and has like a smoother, richer taste. Wow, I take that back. Starbucks at least does not serve their nitro cold brew with ice. And you would never want to drink it with a straw because a straw with nitro cold brew is going to kind of defeat the purpose because you're not going to get that. You got to drink it like this. I'm holding up like you would hold a cup because you want to get all that foamy top stuff in your mouth as you drink it. So a straw would like defeat the purpose.
Interesting.
It's super good. I love nitro cold brew. So good. Hey, Geese.
Oh, did you see the angsty teen photo of myself that I posted today?
Yes, I did. Where are these coming from? Are you digging through old photographs in a box?
No, I was eating breakfast today and my mom was looking at her like Facebook memories and she turned and was like, look at these photos. And I spotted this photo of me being like absolutely mortified that my mother is taking a picture of me. So visibly upset. Why did you post this to Facebook? But also, it's just like a very funny photo of me.
I like
I
the
like
mini
the girl.
muffins in the corner.
Yeah, I like the girl whose name I don't even remember anymore. Has the sunglasses, who's looking at me like I'm absolutely crazy, which to be fair, I am. But and then I like the photoshops that our friends made of that photo.
Yeah, they're far too talented. They whipped those up too quick.
They really did.
They're dangerous. Why don't you send it over to the weather reporter of the day, Geese?
Can you do like a British accent?
Yeah.
All right, our correspondent on the ground is reporting live on the weather. Reporter Geesebeep, can you hear us?
Hi, I'm here in Islamabad, Pakistan. It is 56 degrees Fahrenheit. In Celsius, 13 degrees. Precipitation is 1%. Humidity, 80%. The wind is 8 kilometers an hour. Back to you.
How concise and British. Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you, Mr. British person in Pakistan. Okay, I was a little bit annoyed last week, or 2 weeks ago, we recorded, and then the very next day, they announced a Pokemon. You can scroll up if you want to see it on the dock. A new ghost puppy named Greavard.
Oh, that's what that was.
So that was a little
That's
annoying.
very cute.
But oh boy, howdy, are we making up for it this week? Because we are recording less than 24 hours after Geese. The game is in the wild. The game is being leaked. So, Clambos, if you are some of the people, and I know there's a lot of you, that do not want to be spoiled on leaks, go ahead and skip ahead a little bit. I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, something like that. Skip ahead because I got to tell Geese about all the stuff we got coming out. Oh my God, Geese. Oh my goodness gracious. I had stuff that wasn't spoilers here first. Damn it. Oh, they're not going to get to hear it. All right. Okay, so first off, this isn't spoilers, but there's this new Pokemon, Gimmighoul. He's a real cute little guy. He was officially revealed in Pokemon Go, but he is a Scarlet Violet Pokemon from Paldea, which is based on Spain and Portugal. And
Iberian
in
Peninsula.
you can catch him when he's in his little treasure chest in Scarlet and Violet, but you can only catch him in his roaming form in Pokemon Go. Not yet, but there at some point we're going to collect enough coins and we're going to do something in the game to be able to catch him. Okay, so that's what we got that's officially revealed.
Wait, is Gimmighoul the coin Pokemon or the dog
Yes.
ghost Pokemon?
He's the coin Pokemon.
Okay.
Greavard is the little puppy ghost. I already mentioned before, I got my little Switch OLED Pokemon Edition. Very exciting. I was staring at the Amazon. Your package is 7 stops away. And Geese, I was too nervous, so I literally just walked outside and walked to the truck. I walked down the street and said, can I please get my package, please? Because I didn't want to risk any nonsense, unable to get in the apartment building, any nonsense. So I got that. But here we go. The game is leaking. Geese, we have seen Fuecoco's evolution. That's right, the little lizard chili pepper. He evolves into something called Crocolore or Crocalor. And he has a little sombrero made of fire, Geese. He's got a fire sombrero.
Crocalor.
Crocalor. We have a little flamingo Pokemon. His name is Flamigo, which is a simple name, but I think it works because he's a little amigo.
Because he's a flamingo and he's a friend.
Yes. We got a cute little spider that Peekaboo really likes called Tarantula because he's round and cute.
Hold on. I want to Google this one.
Yeah, be careful because Nintendo's deleting everything. So you may need me to send you the pictures. Or if you go in the Discord and go into the thread below Pokemon called SV discussion at this point.
I thought you were going to say that be careful because Nintendo might ban you for looking up this Pokemon.
They're going to find your account keys. They're going to remotely turn off your Switch. Okay, here's what's funny about these leaks. Very appropriate. The leaks are coming out of Spain, of all places. So all the text we're seeing in these pictures is in Spanish, but luckily the Spanish regions use the English names, so we already know the English names for these leaked Pokemon then. We've also seen the map of Paldea and Geese. There's a little part of the map that's grayed out, and people are speculating, Oh my goodness gracious. Are we actually going to get to travel to Kalos, which is the region based on France and Generation 6 for the 3DS? Are we going to get to go there in 3DS for that little part where Spain and France touch? Could be. Who's to say?
Where they kiss?
They could kiss. Yes. They did kiss in that episode we watched. Oh, we probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah, okay, I was realized that. We didn't mention at all that this is the Valentine's episode.
Okay. Lambos, give us a break. Look, it's still seat of our pants era. We're still waiting on the Scarlet and Violet episodes. We couldn't figure out a good way to do a New Year's episode, so we're skipping to Valentine's Day. And we picked one of the final episodes of the X and Y and Z series. So we have no idea any of the backstory of any of these characters, but luckily, the end of this episode is a clip show of everything that's happened in the series. And interestingly enough, I don't know if it does this in English, but in Japanese, they do a big preview for Sun and Moon. So these episodes we're watching are a prequel to Sun and Moon, which is kind of interesting. But the whole reason I should have said this at the beginning. The whole reason we're watching this is because this is the first ever confirmed Ash kissing a girl live on tape.
I like the implication that the people who skipped because of spoilers are also going to miss out on this information.
I think they've already skipped ahead to where we are, right? It's been 2 minutes, right?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Clambos, if we goofed you. I'm sorry. Hey, we have a new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer coming out as of this recording tomorrow. So Tuesday, we get a new trailer. I'm wondering if this trailer is going to have new stuff in it or if it's just going to be all the stuff that was already leaked. Who is to say? Geese. Please enjoy the new ad break because it has music now and it's much better.
Thank you to Aaron for helping me edit this. And by helping me, I mean completely do all of the work.
Have fun. Be right back.
Please enjoy this ad break.
No bathrooms, Geese?
No bathrooms, Geese. Since there's no food here ever, I barely go to the bathroom.
That's the opposite for me because I drink so much water. If I'm not eating anything, I go to the bathroom a lot. But if I do eat something, the food absorbs all the water, so I go to the bathroom less. I just realized, because this guy was like hanging out somewhere else, you probably have never seen this plush of mine, right?
You have Togedemaru?
Yes.
I want Togedemaru.
So cute.
I want all of the Alola guys. Not the starters, but like the starters, but also all of the ones from the show.
And we're back, Clambos!
Okay, so in English, the episode title is Till We Compete Again. And the subtitle, I guess, is A Zero with No End Till the Day We Meet Again.
And in Japanese, Owari naki zero, mata ao hi made.
Also, I think Guyera mentioned this before, but this is season 19, the XYZ series, and this is episode 47. What?
We have no context at all for any of these Pokemon, any of these characters. Because at least when we were doing the original series, we kind of get it. It's Ash, Brock, and Misty. We know them. We love them. We know what's up. This is an entirely new cast of characters.
I thought you watched the series.
This one? No. I've only watched a little bit of Best Wishes, which is the black and white series, which is really bad, but the Pokemon were cute. And obviously I watched original series as a kid. But no, I was not watching the XYZ era.
Great, because I was really just relying on you to tell me what was happening.
Well, I mean, I played the games X and Y, so I'm sure we. My favorite is when there's just characters who are just like, "Who's this girl with this cool guy?" I think you're a fan of the professor, though. If I had to guess, Professor
Sycamore. Yeah, he was hot.
He's a Frenchman. All right, Clambos. We open in Kalos, which is based on France. And like we said, this is set before Sun and Moon, right before Sun and Moon. So this is the end of his adventure there, right before he's going to travel back to Kanto to see his mother in his home.
He's FaceTiming with his friends to his mom and Professor Oak.
And thank goodness Ash's mother says the name of every character in the room.
Yeah,
Because
I know.
if she didn't, we'd be in big trouble.
Serena?
Yes, Serena is based on the playable character of X and Y and Ash's companion.
Oh, Lord.
Hashtag more ways than one, maybe. Who's to say?
The brother.
Yeah, he's a gym leader in Kalos.
I don't know what his name is.
His name is Clement, and his sister's name is Bonnie. In Japanese, Bonnie's name is Eureka, and she's always speaking in the third person. Does she speak in third person in English?
No.
Interesting. Oh my God. Clambos, we got ourselves such a cute little Pokemon in this series by the name of Dedenne. Dedenne is Bonnie's Pokemon, and Dedenne is an absolute sweetheart. Electric type, Pikachu clone, and I was in love with Dedenne. So they're talking to Ash's mom, and after that, and making their preparations for Ash flying back home. Then we cut to they're at a table. The kids are eating food. There's some pancakes, and Bonnie's so sad that Ash is gonna leave. She's not even hungry. She can't even eat her food. She's pretending. I guess she's just not hungry, but the fact of the matter is she's devastated, Geese, because she's going to miss Ash and her friends so much. And she had such a fun time exploring with them, on all those adventures we're aware of. And then who shows up at the door, Geese?
Professor Sycamore?
That is correct. Professor Sycamore shows up, and then we also get, is it Elaine in English?
Yeah.
So Professor Sycamore is the professor of the region. You Clambos at least know what that's about. The guy who gives partner Pokemon. Ash introduces himself. Elaine is somebody who just beat Ash in a giant battle, I suppose, because he's the champion of Alola. So he's an incredible trainer. An Alola. Oh, goodness. He's the champion of Kalos. So he's Ash's rival in this series of X and Y. And then he has a companion named Myron. How did they pronounce it? Myron? Myron. It's this girl with him. And I'm going to keep it real with you, Clambos. I don't know much about this character because I don't think much is established in this episode of what her deal is. But she's certainly there. And everybody's saying goodbye to Ash because everybody knows Ash is flying away. Elaine makes Ash promise that after this, at some point later in the future, Ash is going to have a big giant battle with him. And Ash says yes, and they shake hands. And Ash is asking about his Mega Ring. Do you remember anything about that, Geese? The Mega Ring and like a cave, a frost cave, did he lose his Mega Ring?
So they zoom in on his hand, like really weirdly, which is like, it's very confusing. And Ash is like, where's your Mega Ring? And then he says that he gave it up to the police for evidence.
It's very amusing. I don't remember the police being involved in Japanese, but I just remember something about he's got to go to a cave.
They say that they're going to a cave to research something. They're going to a frost cavern.
Yes.
To do something about a sundial. And there's something about megastones.
Yeah, this is probably related to Xerneas, Yveltal, maybe Zygarde, which was defeated in some giant climactic episode recently before this episode. Because this is like an epilogue episode after everything has been solved in Kalos.
Also, before the Mega Ring discussion, there's a really weird and like abrupt cut to Team Rocket FaceTiming to Giovanni about how they wiped out Team Flare, and then Giovanni tells them to come back to HQ in Kanto.
Yeah, when you're first watching the episode, if you have no context like us, it first appears that Team Rocket saved the day and destroyed Zygarde and Team Flare. Clever editing ruse. So it appears as if Team Rocket was the victor of this giant battle. But in reality, Meowth just edited together a fake photoshopped video to appear impressive to Giovanni. And in reality, the true defeaters of Zygarde and Team Flare were all of the Elite Four members working together. So the strongest trainers in the world, or at least in Kalos, working together and saving the day with the strongest Pokemon. Very exciting. And then we cut back to Ash, Elaine, and all these people we don't know. Chespin is the grass-type starter in Kalos, and he's real cute. And he's crying, Geese. But there's a Chespin that belongs to the main crew, and then there's a Chespin that belongs to Marion. What's her name? Marin. There's a Chespin that belongs to Marine, and one of the Chespins is crying because he's so sad that he's gonna miss all his friends. And then there's some real good French music, and my only guess is it's not that good in English. Do you recall really good French music being played in this goodbye ceremony? Well, nope. She says no. We cut to the airport. Ash is going to fly off. I really like these airport scenes. I like hearing all the announcements of this plane arriving for Hoenn, this plane arriving for Kanto.
I think Ash's plane is Dragonite Air. I think that's the airline name.
In English, did they mention Latios Air or Latias Air?
Yeah.
Because I don't remember Dragonite. But I was going to be very confused if they switched it from Dragonite to Latios.
Or maybe that was Serena's?
It could be. Because Serena's going to go to Hoenn. Ash is going to go to... They're all leaving. Oh my God, Geese. Somebody walks by and they've got some luggage. And on the luggage is a very adorable Sentret. And it's cute. He's a little squirrel from Generation 2. Sentret. Yeah, he's a little squirrel from Generation 2. He evolves into Furret, a real long... sort of what are they called? Not ferret. Is it a ferret? Okay.
Also, I was thinking when I'm watching this, like, I hope like airlines don't even like allow Pokemon outside of the ball on the plane. Like, what if like a Pokemon like accidentally like uses its powers inside of an airplane? That would be awful. Like, what if Pikachu electrified everyone? Seems like a huge liability and risk.
Yeah, you can't think too deep into Pokemon because even just the airport, this scene in the airport is hysterical because you got some big boys. It's not just Pikachu and Dedenne. You've got a Noivern, this giant wyvern dragon just hanging out. This guy's huge. Luxray.
Also, the fact that they have like a whole Pokemon battlefield on top of what looks like the airport. Like what if like an element like flies and hits a plane as it's taking off?
Oh my God. Okay. While it is best to just not worry about that kind of thing, we can do a little bit of headcanon and think, okay, if we're in a society where we've created the technology to hold these Pokemon in little Pokeballs, I bet we have the technology to build planes out of material that probably wouldn't blow up when a rogue Pokemon attack hits it from the airport battlefield.
Why don't we have the technology where humans can go in Pokemon balls so they can just store people much more efficiently?
Well, Geese, if you want to watch the banned episode, Porygon Cyber Soldier Porygon, they kind of touch on it. So maybe you can kind of see.
Maybe we'll do that next time.
Maybe next time. Maybe. Who's to say?
For our St. Patrick's Day episode.
Nothing more Irish than seizures from little children. What is going on in the episode?
Team Rocket is also at the airport and they're running. I don't know, like, I guess they're on the same flight as Ash or not. Maybe they're on the earlier flight, but they're like running and they're like, we should have done all that shopping. And they drop their keychains in their frantic hurry to the gate
to catch their flight. It was a Solrock and a Lunatone keychain, and I thought, God, those are cool. I love when things in the anime look like cool merchandise that would exist in this world. Like I love when there's an episode with Pokemon plushies or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if they're on the same flight as Ash. You would think so. Remember back in the first episodes of Sun and Moon, Team Rocket and Ash were on the same flight out to Alola. So that's probably the case. They just never notice each other.
I miss the airports in Japan. You just like have all this like loose change, and they like very smartly have like gachapon machines where you can just like use
Oh,
the
yeah.
rest of your yen coins. I got some really sick Kirby figures from the gachapon machines at the Osaka airport.
That is very sick. Because I would always have so much change in my pocket with all this yen, what I would try to do is one of two things. I would take all my 10 yen coins and put those into vending machines to get Boss coffee or corn soup, hot corn soup, very tasty. And then sometimes I would take like the higher yen denominations and put those into a machine to load it up on my Suica card. And then with the little 1 yen coins, there's nothing you could do with those guys. So
Yeah,
I
you
just
can't do
left
anything.
them in
Yeah.
just left them in the hotel. They probably threw them away. I don't know. Okay, so we're in this airport. I love how, because we've got Pokemon so big in this airport, the size of these little terminals are massive. These little terminals. Just massive baggage claim, massive terminals with all the Pokemon crying and saying goodbye. We've got Noivern, Talonflame, Luxray, Braixen, Hawlucha, Sylveon, Bunnelby, Dedenne, and Pancham. Man, I love Pancham. He's my
Pancham.
boy. Pancham's so cute because Chespin's crying, and Pancham's this little panda bear, and he's this specific Pancham has these cute little sunglasses, but all Pancham have this little leaf they chew on, and little Chespin's crying, so Pancham goes into his little pockets and hands him a spare leaf to chew on to try to make him happy. It was cute.
Very
But
cute.
Geese Dedenne can't take it anymore. Dedenne is too sad and runs away out of Bonnie's arms and sprints away. And Geese, I was laughing. They got the whole squad to follow Dedenne. This tiny little mouse, and they get like 15 giant Pokemon, and all the kids just stomping after Dedenne.
And Dedenne like runs to like the baggage claim area, and then everyone comes through that area. Pikachu, I guess, uses electricity to sense him because he's also like an electric rat, and they end up finding Dedenne.
Yeah, I was unaware of this Pikachu superpower that he could locate
Yeah.
Pokemon by doing a little electric finder
Well, maybe
thing.
it's only electric Pokemon he can sense.
Maybe. Also, I don't know if this Dedenne is a boy or a girl. I'd have to look that up. I'm not sure. They're not huge on mentioning that most of the time, I think. Like, you have to really dig deep if you really care about the gender of one of the pokes. For the most part.
Oh, that reminds me. Throughout the Sun and Moon episodes we did, I purposely never corrected you about the gender of the Pokemon because I didn't want to spoil anything later in the episodes about how they evolved. But now that we're not going to talk about the later Sun and Moon stuff, I feel like I probably should have just, said the correct Pokemon genders.
We may watch those later. I don't know. Oh, well, I know Togedemaru was a girl. There was another Poke I was saying the wrong gender of?
Yeah, several.
Several. Okay, Geese. So we finally cornered Dedenne. Dedenne's crying, and Bonnie says, I completely understand, Dedenne. And I feel the exact same way. I've just been pretending to hold it together, but really, I love these guys so much, and I can't handle it anymore. Gotta chase our dreams, and it's my dream to become a great performer just like Serena, and to become a great Pokemon trainer and be a champion and beat Ash, and we gotta do it together, Dedenne, because you're gonna be my partner Pokemon. And she delivers this very inspiring speech, and Dedenne Dedenne finally jumps out of the baggage claim corner and jumps into Bonnie's arms, and it's very sweet. Okay, Geese. Maybe you should handle the escalator scene while I recover, and it is your favorite subject.
Okay, so Ash and the gang are now, with the Dedenne issue resolved, they're at one of the gates about to say goodbye to Serena as she goes on her flight to Hoenn. Serena is saying her goodbye as she's about to go down the escalator. Thank you, Ash. You've taught me so much. I'm gonna grow up to be the kind of person you want me to be. And she winks, and I'm like, what? And then she heads down the escalator.
Do you want me to tell you what she says in Japanese before you reveal what happens next?
Yes.
In Japanese, she says, "You are my goal." And I've seen this clip like a million times on social media, but never in Japanese. She says in Japanese, "The next time I meet you, I will be a more charming woman." And then she does the wink. And then she says, "Can I have one last thing?" And then Geese, you can take it from there.
Yeah, so she's already down the escalator when she says, "Wait, can I ask one more thing?" And she runs up the escalator and she leans in and she kisses Ash.
Stands on her
But
tiptoes.
they don't show it.
Well,
They imply it, but they don't show it.
they show Clement and Bonnie super blushing and losing their minds. So
Yes,
it's clear.
but they don't show. It's clear. It's no
Crisp.
question. It's clear. But those cowards, they did not show it.
I don't know. I think it was more powerful this way. Myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly not that upset about it, but
furious. This is a big deal. I can't think of any other confirmed on the lips smooches. This is a big deal.
but we're not even confirmed it's on the lips.
Oh, well, I think it's pretty confirmed. Because I don't think they'd be blushing so hard over a little cheek kiss.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, that happens. That's the entire reason we watched this episode, for the kisses. And Serena's plane flies off. She's going to Hoenn, like we said. And Clement says to Ash, "There's one thing I want too." And it's not kisses,
he kisses him. No.
He does not want kisses. Instead, he wants a Pokemon battle. Go Bunnelby, go Pikachu.
And they battle on the conveniently located Pokemon battlefield they have on top of the airport.
Geese, just think about it. Think of all the lounges you see in airports. You think in a Pokemon world, they're not going to have a little battlefield for people? They've got like golf courses for crying out loud.
The battlefield is outside on the roof.
Yes. Diglett's in there just destroying the roof of the airport.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt, Mudshot, Iron Tail, Quick Attack, Wild Charge, Double Slap. I said double clap. Double Slap, Iron Tail, and so on and so forth. And we cut to Ash's plane flying off. After this, Geese, we get a clip show of every single thing that has happened in this Kalos journey, which is convenient for us because now we get to have some sort of background for the characters and maybe a little bit of their relationship. Let me just run through this real quick. We start off with Serena. It shows her performing and Citron building robots and battling Ash. Bonnie being a ninja, dressing up and hugging Pokes, blowing up the Eiffel Tower. There's Professor Sycamore and the cool dude who is the champion of Alola, Elaine, right? And then we see Steven. Steven is the champion from...
Alola?
No, he's the champion from Hoenn. So
no,
Generation 3.
Elaine is the champion of Alola.
Did I say it again? Did I do it again? I called him the champion of Alola too many times. The champion of Kalos. Oh my God, I'm losing it. I blame my illness on the mistakes I have made, so all can be forgiven. We see all the little friends from the beginning of X and Y, because you have a ton of friends in the beginning of that game. We see Wooper and Lotad get into a little fight, but then Goodra stops them from fighting, and we see Greninja doing sick stuff while little baby Zygarde cells are looking. Geese is probably so confused.
I put the speed on 4x speed during the montages.
You wouldn't even be able to notice anything. You watch it 4 times.
No, I noticed them.
We see Ash arriving back in Kanto, and he's remembering all his Kalos adventures. The highlight of which was Serena putting a towel on his foot and giving her some chocolates or something for, I don't know, maybe it was White Day. Do you know what White Day is, Geese?
That's like the Japanese Valentine's Day.
Well, no, there's Valentine's Day, and then after Valentine's Day, on White Day, on Valentine's Day, the girls give the boys chocolate, and then on White Day, the boys give the girls chocolate. So
I know that chocolate is heavily involved in the process.
Yes. We see all these Kalos Pokemon evolving over the course of the series. We see a little clip that probably could have led to this little kiss happening of some sort of exhausted Ash holding on to Serena in a very blushing event with everyone blushing. We see Serena throwing snowballs at Ash's face, lots of battles, lots of Mega evolving, Pikachu and all the Elite Four members defeating Zygarde. Very, very sick. Honestly, that I didn't watch the series, but from the clips I have seen of that final Zygarde battle, this is one of the biggest deals they have ever had.
Who the heck is Zygarde?
Zygarde is a very interesting Pokemon. He has so many different forms. And the funny thing is, a lot of people expected there to be a Pokemon Z. Like, that's literally the name of this series we're watching is XYZ. But they never made a Pokemon Z. They just went straight from XY to Sun and Moon. And they incorporated what would have been in Pokemon Z, a little Zygarde side quest where you're collecting little cells. They put that in Sun and Moon, which is very interesting. But he's got these forms where he's not as strong. He's got these little cell forms, which you would have seen in the little clip show, these little green guys. Bonnie was taking care of. I guess they were cute. He's got a form that looks like a dog. He's got the big giant form they're fighting at the end, super powered. I think in the games, he can only turn into that form if he's at like 25% health. It's a whole ordeal, but he's a giant destructive creature force of destruction. And thanks to Ash and all of the Elite Four members, they put him to bed or something. So Lysander could not destroy the world with Team Flare. And then we finally cut to Ash running to the horizon to get to his house in Pallet Town. He walks through the door and says, "I'm home." In English, did they put cursive on the screen that says, "and to our own way"?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Then in Japanese, we get a little preview of Sun and Moon, and we see like a preview of, I guess, the end of X and Y. They get like one more little episode. But that's the end of the episode. We did it. X and Y. We completed the whole series. Good work, everyone. I'm so proud of you.
Good job, everyone.
Good job. Good work, Lambos. Yep. We got welcome to the Valentine's Day special where Ash kisses a girl. Geese, can you believe we used to discuss 3 episodes?
I know, it's crazy.
How is that even possible?
We should never have done that.
How?
You originally were like, we should just summarize like 5 episodes, like
Yeah.
the Dragon Ball one. I was like,
Yeah.
no.
How did we have time for that? I don't even. Who's to say? Am I right? The one. Geese, one thing I want to bring up. You remember a few episodes back, I was going on about my little shorts and how I stitched them myself, and you were getting on to me about it?
Yeah.
Well, guess what, Clambos? I've completely turned around on it, and I think they look sick now, which is exactly what I wanted. Because as far as I'm concerned, if they look just professionally done and you couldn't even tell that there was a stitching, that's boring. How about I hand stitch it terribly and it just looks sick instead? And so
Okay, but where's
where
where's the stitching? Like, where is it located?
It's at the very bottom.
Okay, so like it's not in a place where like it's gonna look awful.
I mean, they're just little shorts. There's not too much to look at.
What I'm trying to delicately say is it's not on the crotch or the butt area.
No, Geese, you can't see. Come on, Geese. No. Goodness gracious. The very bottom. Bottom of the shorts. Come on now.
Okay, then yeah, that's fine. If you had given me that context for when we first discussed it, I've been like, yeah, just do it yourself. It doesn't matter if it looks good or not. It's a statement.
That's pretty.
I thought this was like a critical area.
No, it's just the bottom, and I could have left it ripped. And I don't know, it sounds like I'm screaming. I could have left it ripped, but the issue was every time I put them on, my toes would like go through the rip and rip them more. I had to resort to desperate measures. All right, Geese, why don't you ask me all your questions? Well, maybe not all of them, because I looked at some of those questions and you're asking a lot of me. I'm fine with the milk chocolate versus dark chocolate, but good Lord, you go. Going in
what
deep.
You don't want to answer the question of how juicy are your gamer lips?
This is this is a G-rated grandmas and little boys and girls podcast.
We cannot having juicy gamer lips is like completely PG.
Oh my god.
Okay,
My lips
Fine.
are perfectly fine.
Why don't we start with this? When was your first kiss? And you can be as open or vague or whatever.
Thank you for the permission. When I was 5 years old, I kissed a little girl named Brittany.
That doesn't count.
Okay. When I'm like 14 years old with the girl I mentioned before that I didn't like.
Oh,
You're
nice.
Nice, calm down. I am not going to go into details with that because it would be too much.
I had my first kiss in the 8th grade at my birthday party. And we were in the basement watching the movie Enchanted. And I was with a boy behind a chair and we kissed.
Oh my God, behind a chair of all places. The chair blocking all the kissing.
Did this boy bully me? Yes. Did I have very low self-esteem?
Like
no. I had very low self-esteem and he was... We don't have to get into my middle school trauma, but...
We don't have to get it.
Next question. When and what did you do for your first date?
First of all, you Clampos are missing out because we don't have a video version of this. You have no idea how animated Geese's face gets when she asks these questions. I think I've already told you this one, actually. That was the bowling alley double date thing. Although I'll give you an additional answer to this. This isn't a first date, but it's a first date with somebody. Wait, why do I feel like I've told this story before? Stop me if you've already heard this, but there was a point where we had this full day planned of stuff to do with this girl, but we had to do them in a specific order because places were closing. So I ended up getting this girl I was going on a date with.
Okay.
But we ended up going on like a little walk through a nature preserve, then into immediately eating a bunch of frozen custard, and then going to a trampoline park. So I was sick at the trampoline park.
Guyera.
Geese, they were closing. I had to do it in that order.
Why would you even go to a trampoline park for a date?
Because it's fun. Geese, I went skydiving for a second date once. You're not having enough fun if you're not going to trampoline parks on dates.
Okay, I would also never go skydiving.
But Geese, it's fun. At least the first time. The second time, I didn't enjoy it as much because I was just so cold and my ears hurt a lot, and I just wasn't able to have fun like I did the first time. I've never gone bungee jumping though. Next question.
Oh God. Geese's face. For Valentine's Day during school, did you hand out candy and like little cards?
Maybe we did have something like that. I don't have really strong memories of that, but I'm fairly certain something like that did happen. Oh my God, Geese. There was this girl I was so in love with forever, but I was too nervous to ever actually act out on it. And I would always I would buy her so many gifts. And I'd always get her like really nice things on Valentine's Day. And it sucks so much because we even hung out once and I was going to kiss her, but I got too nervous. Like she was at my house. There's nobody else there. And she was my first like huge crush. And we talked on the phone every single night, but nothing ever happened. And then eventually I got a different girlfriend. And I think it wasn't until then that I sent some like unbelievably cringy like email with like all these different colors and fonts and then I said, "Oh, don't read it." But eventually we had a conversation and I told her how I felt about her in the past, and she said, "You didn't think I felt the same way too?" But oh well.
God,
just too nervous with girls.
Oh my God. You know what's funny? Like I had a dream last night about my first crush, and that we went to. It was like completely like platonic. We just like went to the University of like Texas like football game, and like we were like I had tickets, but we had trouble getting the tickets. It was weird.
She had 2 different colored eyes, and she was really self-conscious about it, which is too bad because they look great. That's so sick. Hopefully she got over it.
My favorite
2 color eyes.
I remember, like, in my school, like, you were required to get everyone a card and, like, a little candy. I remember one year, you could buy, like, from, like, Target or Walmart, a bag of these, like, pre-made cards and candies. I remember one year getting a lot of Shrek ones. Pretty sick.
The Shrek and early Pirates of Caribbean era.
Yes.
Early 2000s.
Oh my gosh, yes. I think I probably have some of those cards like left. Like the little ones.
That reminds me of another story. That just thinking of that. Because here's the weird thing. There were all these theater kids who were super into Pirates of the Caribbean, and I didn't know why. But I remember Judith was face painting me for the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And then we had like some little party at her house.
Who's
and
Judith?
I remember, just some girl. And then I remember, I remember, I don't know if we were officially, we had to have been, I think. But my girlfriend, Kelly, there were blankets on us and we were just holding little hands under the blanket. And then whenever the blanket was moved, we moved the hands away real quick. Pretty silly.
Wow.
But yeah, that was some Pirates of the Caribbean related get together.
Okay, next question. How long was your longest relationship?
3 years.
Wow. My longest relationship, Guyera, is the one I'm still in, because that's the only relationship I've been in.
Sick.
So, what's this month? November.
It is
so
November
like
now.
a year and a month now.
It's been a year already?
Yeah. Our anniversary is 9/11.
Oh, adorable. Yeah. That's not why are we laughing at the tragedy, Geese?
Tragedy? It's a great
It is
time
a tragedy.
for me. My anniversary.
Oh my God, you're all over the place. I tell you one thing, you're in hysterics. You go laughing about 9/11. All right, next question. We're
Have you ever been catfished?
No. I've been on little dates on like dating apps where apparently the girls have been catfished before because they're real quick to go, we need a video chat right now to make sure you're not catfishing. And so we do video chat and they go, okay, you're not catfishing. There have been people I've gone on dates with where you can tell the pictures were taken a while ago. So I was surprised what they look like when I opened the door, but not like just somebody using a completely different picture, which I don't understand at all. What is the long-term goal there? What are you hoping to accomplish? You think that's just going to work out well? Just showing a picture of someone else? I don't get that at all.
Yeah, I don't know. The logistics and like doesn't seem well thought out.
No, seems like a mistake.
Next question. How do you feel about fondue fountains? Like chocolate fountains?
They're kind of gross when you think about them.
Yeah,
I think about
they
people
are
sticking
kinda
their
gross.
fingers in them, so it grosses me out.
How do you feel about milk versus dark chocolate?
I am dark chocolate all the way. I am not a fan of milk
What?
chocolate. Milk chocolate's gross. I don't know why people
What?
like it.
What are you
Dark chocolate is
talking
so
about?
good. Dark chocolate and putting in the freezer, or you could even mix it with some ice cream, perhaps. But
Dark chocolate is too bitter.
It's so good. Now, I'll give you some leeway, slack, whatever the phrase I'm looking for is. You don't want to go super, super, super high, like 99% cacao, whatever. Then it just tastes like dirt. But there's a good percentage range where it's like, what is it? Like the 70% or the 80% cacao that's just so good. I like it bitter because I've said this a million times now, but I don't really have a sweet tooth. So if you told me tomorrow that I could just never have sweets again, I would go, okay, that's fine, I guess. Because
you don't have a sweet tooth after
no,
that photo of a waffle you shared with me?
that was a really good waffle, but savory food like raisins and like cheeseburgers and stuff,
Oh
those
man,
are
I want
way
chicken
better.
tenders so bad.
Oh, me too. They're way better than desserts. And I've had great desserts. I've had cheesecake that'll blow your mind away. Just completely gone is your mind. But sweets just don't do for me what savory foods do.
Yeah, I'm the same way. But also, like, I've gotten older, don't have the same stomach or desire for, like, candy or
Yeah,
sweet stuff.
I do not desire candy. It's so weird. The palates, the taste buds of children, how they're all about candy. And I mean, kids like McDonald's and things, dongles, but yeah, their palates are strange. Because there's not too many children who are like, I love some broccoli, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I basically just crave hummus all the time.
Humbo is outstanding. Any day of
Yeah.
the week, any time, any hour. Geese, the next question.
Do
Only
you have
because,
any fun prom or homecoming stories?
yeah, homecoming, I did get to dance with that girl I had the crush on for the longest time, so that was fun. Prom was lots of fun. Though I had a bunch of Wii remotes in my, because the Wii had just come out. I had a bunch of Wii remotes in my suit jacket pockets and was like playing with them while we were dancing around. And they're like flashing
Why did
blue
you
lights
bring them?
because they flash blue. And it was like, it was so hard to get a Wii at that time. I don't know. You were like 2 years old, so maybe you don't remember, but Wii's were impossible to find. So if you had a Wii, it was just the biggest status symbol you could ever
So you
possibly
brought
imagine.
that to the
Not the
homecoming
console.
dance?
No, to the prom. But I had just the Wii remotes. It was just fun playing with
God.
them. Don't you God me.
If I was one of your peers, I would have punched you in the face.
You are a liar. But first off, this was my first time driving for the prom. My first time driving like real big freeway stuff in downtown streets. And oh boy, was that ever scary. Oh
Oh my
boy.
god, yeah.
Finding parking was so, oh my God. I get so many stories with this prom. For some reason, my girlfriend was in the back seat, I guess, of the car. And she had a camera, a digital camera, because this is before everybody had iPhones. And she had it in a sock. And I tossed the camera back to her, but I accidentally hit her in the face.
What?
Poor girl. She had to.
Why was it in a sock?
I guess so it's easier to not lose, I guess. It's a good question. Big pink sock.
Where was the prom venue?
Somewhere in downtown Houston. It was by let's say Coco Ichibanya, but no, it was one of those hibachi places, where they go chung 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 with the metal spatulas and they make the little volcanoes and whatnot. That was a lot of fun. We ate there.
There was enough space in there for prom?
No. That's just where we ate before the prom.
Oh, okay.
The prom was in like a big, I think, hotel kind of area. Then we all stayed in a big old fancy hotel. It was lots of fun. Funny thing,
I was just gonna say that before my prom, we ordered like a platter of Chick-fil-A nuggets, and I ate like 50 nuggets.
delicious. The funny thing was, like, I had all the people I knew that were staying there, but then other people showed up too. And I knew of these people. I wasn't friends with them, but they tried to bring in a bunch of alcohol. And this is high school prom, so nobody should be drinking.
Oh yeah, compared to college prom?
That's a good point, Geese. That's a good point. But it was kind of an awkward situation because my friend at the time, Tyler, was talking about, oh, we can't let them in here with this. And so we had to tell them to leave because they tried to bring in all this alcohol. And I thought, we're going to get in big trouble if anything happens with any of this. I'll tell you what's funny. The day after prom, I had an audition scheduled to go to an acting school in Los Angeles, but I overslept. So instead, I didn't do that and then ended up not going to Los Angeles for like many more years. Because like the plan was to move out there right away in like 2008 and instead, or 2007, God. Instead, I didn't move here till 2014. So 7 years later. Quite a gap of time there.
I think I was in the 4th grade in
Oh
2007.
my God. Next question.
Growing up, did you ever have like an online girlfriend in like Final Fantasy or like RuneScape or anything? Or AOL?
I did not, but I do have lots of stories involving this. So I remember talking to an IRL girlfriend on like AIM, but as far as meeting someone on the internet, I didn't do that. But in like 2003 or thereabouts, I was playing Final Fantasy 11 online with a friend of mine, Stephanie, and Stephanie was approached in Final Fantasy by some dude who said, can we be boyfriend and girlfriend in game? And she agreed to it. And it was perfect because this guy was super high level. So he would help out me and her all the time. Just like getting on high level chocobos, going to areas we weren't a high enough level to get to. So very sick.
I got asked that all the time in RuneScape and Club Penguin.
Club Penguin girlfriends?
Final question that's not related at all to Valentine's Day.
Final question.
Are you going to buy a Powerball ticket?
Do I even have time to do that? Aren't they gonna win?
Don't know.
I mean, statistically speaking, there's no possible way I'd win, but it can be kind of fun to go do that. So I have been thinking about it. Maybe I can do that.
Imagine all the trips you can make to Japan with that.
Oh my God, Geese! Do you have any idea how wild I would go if I won a Powerball ticket? I would be having so much fun in Japan and traveling everywhere. And I'd collect some Game Boy games too. And I'd be going everywhere. And I'd be eating so much food. Oh my God. Oh, it'd be so much fun. Can't imagine just having money. Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't work.
No, God, no. I mean, if you have money so you can afford to exist, then that's the point when you want to pursue all your interests. And you could see that as a quote unquote job. Like, just go out and create
part-time work.
Like I'd want to act and create and whatnot, of course. To have some sort of purpose while not having to worry about rent and food and whatnot. So Clambos, please send us $1 billion through anchor.fm.
Yeah, just Venmo me. www.onlygeese.cash
or looklistencast.com. Great news, Geese. I finally got the email and we got it secured. That's right. You can just go to youtube.com/@looklistencast and it will go right to our YouTube.
Oh, that's a YouTube handle thing?
Yes. So the way YouTube is doing it, it's kind of smart. It's just they add an @ symbol at the beginning of whatever the name is. So that creates a bunch of new opportunities. So @LookListenCast is us on everything now, which is convenient.
Love to see it.
You'll love to see it.
I just realized that we forgot to introduce the premise of our show.
I kind of did at the beginning. Look, Listen, Cast, Geese and Guyera. We talk about Pokemon sometimes.
Okay, I was dissociating.
Sick. We also talk about other things.
Like Valentine's Day and prom.
Like any holiday, really. If we're not discussing sun and moon.
Okay, while Guyera takes a sip from his water, I will say that please follow us on social media at LookListenCast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you to Keith Squared for our artwork. You can find him at twitch.tv/Keith Squared. He has a very cool VTuber thing now. Pretty cool.
Yes, I mentioned it the last episode for the Clambo. Do you like how I wrote and YouTube, just like how you say it?
Yeah, that's why I said it that way. Thank you to all our supporters. Guyera, please tell the folks at home how they can support us.
Go to looklistencast.com and you will see a link for anchor.fm and anchor.fm.
Is it looklistencast.com?
Isn't that what I just said?
No, you said looklisten.com.
Are you kidding me? Are you big joking me?
I mean, when you edit this podcast, you will see that I was in fact correct.
All right. Go to looklistencast.com and you are going to clearly see a link for anchor.fm. And on anchor.fm, you can support us on a monthly basis and we will love you for it. And Geese will send kisses in the mail.
Mwah, mwah. Please recommend this podcast to your friends and to your grandmas and grandpas.
And young cousins and nephews and nieces.
Okay, so our listener question of the week comes
And
from...
Geese forgot to thank you, Aaron, for boilerplate and
Oh, yes. Thank
edit
you, Aaron.
and website.
For boilerplate and ad.
And website.
And website. Our viewer question today comes from DrivingDVan.
Or
He
DVan.
asks, yes. He asks, if you were to host another podcast that wasn't Pokemon related, what would it be about and why?
Well, DVan, it would probably have to be more specifically about video games in general. Only because I know so much about video games, just far too much. Just an ungodly amount of knowledge for no reason. So that's what I would be the most equipped to discuss. It's just talking about games and thoughts about games and history of games and so on and so forth.
I would probably do something like response message, like, even though that's kind of our podcast too, where like we watch something and comment on it. Another thing I'd probably do is like have a podcast about like cultural heritage institutions. So like libraries, archives, and museums. Just like talking about related issues and topics. Also, I would do a podcast about obscure items and weird inventions and like the history behind those things.
Very sick. Oh my God, Geese. I can't believe I gotta wait more than 24 hours. I gotta wait 26 hours to play stinking God of War Ragnarok, even though I need to blitz through this before Pokemon comes out. Are you joking me? And Geese, I just got an email from the street date breaking place. They canceled my order before, not that I was gonna get there anyway today, but they canceled it before they even closed for business. What that tells me is they clearly are getting so many people showing up to the store asking for copies. So they just have to sell mine because I'm not showing up anyway, I guess. But good golly. If only I would have had time to pick it up. But Geese, it's okay because I can justify it in my head that I'm feeling sick. So I shouldn't be out going around. Shouldn't be making other people sick. Still wanted to play it early. I'm still disappointed. God, I can't believe I got to wait till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Good golly. Such a chump. Maybe if I had a video game podcast, I could get an early review code. Maybe.
Who's to say?
PlayStation, if you're listening, please send me a God of War Ragnarok review code a couple hours before it goes live on my PlayStation 5.
Okay, are we done?
Unless there's anything else you want to discuss before we say goodbye to everyone.
No, I'm gonna go and make some cheesy chips.
Cheesy chips and Girl Scout cookies. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Kiss, kiss to all the Clambos. Shouts out to the gamers.
Shouts out. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company.